These are definitely the most versatile lights you'll ever use. Sokani X60 and X100 RGB lights. Let's review those. So these two lights have groups of LEDs: tungsten, daylight, red, green and blue. And the temperature range is from 2800 Kelvin to 10,000 Kelvin plus full RGB. So here they are at 5600 Kelvin and 100% against COLBOR CL60, a tiny but nice light which I had a review on the channel, so here it is. And as you can see guys, the Sokani 100X is a bit brighter than COLBOR and the 60X is a bit less bright than the COLBOR and 100X. And in terms of color, I think that the Sokani is doing a better job. Now let's compare it to more powerful device, the Viltrox Ninja 10 120 watt light. And keep in mind that the Sokani X60 is 80 watt light, no matter it's called the 60X, and the Sokani 100X is 100 watt LED light. The review of Viltrox Ninja 10 is also on the channel, I'll leave the link down below. And as you can see guys, the Ninja 10 is brighter, there is no surprise to me, but still it's not a dramatic difference, and the color rendition of Sokani lights is more pleasing, especially with the Sokani 60X. So now let's have a look at the Barebones COBs, and as you can see, we have a pretty even spread throughout the range with the Sokani X60. And only towards the corners we can see a little bit of color shift, but it's not too big. Sokani X100 is noticeably warmer and a bit more magenta, and it also has a pretty even beam and some color shift towards the edges. And the Viltrox Ninja 10 has a green tint, as I said before, but it has much more clean edges, as you can see here. So here they are side by side with the reflectors, and as you can see, the Ninja 10's reflector has a ton of power and output, but still the Sokani's reflectors are noticeably brighter than without those. And here we can see that the 60X is much less bright than the 100X and than the Viltrox. But when we have a closer look at the reflectors with Sokani lights, we can see some colorful edges, and this happens because of the LEDs that are colorful, red, green and blue, and they are not in a special position and not in the right place, let me say, and they cast this colorful edge of the light towards the edges of the beam. And the Viltrox Ninja 10 doesn't have this problem because it has one huge daylight COB and it has no color shift towards the edges at all. So as you can see, we have tungsten on the outer side, then daylight, then red, green and blue, and as you can see guys, when we change the colors, the outer edge with the reflector reflects the lights from different positions, from the middle, from the edge, and it makes the outer part of this ring to change color, to have a color shift. So be careful using this reflector with this light and keep that in mind. So now let's have a closer look at the brightness values of the red, green and blue LEDs of those two Sokani lights. So here they are side by side with a full red power, and they are pretty much identical. The Sokani X60 is even a bit brighter, at least to my eye and according to the waveform. Here it is with the green color, also the same position, very good, very contrasty light. I mean, the quality of this green color is great, the same goes to blue color, and it is pretty bright in my opinion. It's much brighter than any LED light wand or something. And here is magenta, so it's a mix of red and blue, and it's also very, very bright. I also did a test with a 90cm softbox with the Sokani X60, and as you can see, the skin tone is more than okay, and it is appropriate for shooting a talking headshot in a regular CCT mode. Also, the CRI and TLCI ratings are 95+, and through the app you can dial in any color you want. Nicely looking, guys. Also, those lights do not flicker at all, even at 1/8000th, thousandths, a very tough word to say, of a second, you have no flicker whatsoever. So now guys, let's talk about the kit of those two lights. They come in this very nicely made bag. I like the quality of it. It has a special light stand holder, those two straps. Here's my favorite cat. And also you can attach a shoulder strap to this bag. Now let's have a closer look at Sokani X60 RGB kit. In the kit you'll find a light itself, of course, a little padding as well, the shoulder strap, the AC adapter and cable, and it's not the longest cable, and here is the main problem with this light in my opinion. So it just hangs like so if you put it up high, and you have to do something else to kinda, I don't know, gaff tape this power brick to some place not to hang from the bottom of the light. Here is the reflector itself. I really like the quality of this reflector and gives you a lot of output. And also the COB itself has a glass protective cover, which is nice. And here is the metal Bowens mount, a very tough and strong metal. Zero issues with this mount. Here is the release mechanism. The fan, also made out of metal. The whole light is made out of metal, aluminum alloy, and it's a very nice touch. Here is the geared yoke, and it's also very tough. And as you can see, my 90cm softbox has zero issues with this light, and this light basically has zero issues with the softbox. It's sturdy as a rock. It has an umbrella mount, which is nice, but it cannot be tilted because it's on the kind of light yoke itself, and you can mount this light horizontally and vertically. And here is the power in. It's very tough and sturdy, but still I'm not the fan of this hanging system of the cable. And the menu system is pretty straightforward. We have two knobs, two buttons. Nothing too crazy, we'll talk about it in a minute. And the Sokani X100 is an opposite light in terms of build quality. It's fully made out of plastic, so we have plasticky everything. The COB itself, the Bowens mount is also made out of plastic. It's a good quality plastic, but still plastic. The yoke is also made out of plastic, and I'm not a fan of this build quality. Unfortunately, you have to give up the build quality to get a little bit of extra features like powering from the BP batteries, and also we have kind of the same controls, a bit better controls in my opinion with the X100, but still I'm not a fan of this super plasticky build quality. And if you'll be using this light only in the studio environment, in one place, it's good enough. But if you are planning to take it with you to locations and to your vacations, probably it's not the best. So here are the plates for the BP batteries, and it can be powered with two BP batteries. So both of those lights come with the same bag and the same reflector. As you can see, it's a beautiful reflector, really high quality. The power brick is a bit bigger with the 100X, but still the cables are kind of the same length, about 3 meters long. So about the powering options, with the X60 RGB we can use this little V-mount plate from Viltrox. I showed it in my Viltrox Ninja 10 review, and it can definitely power this light for about an hour at full blast. It's a very cool handle that you can buy separately, and it provides enough power for your light with a V-mount battery. But instead, the X100 Sokani light has two slots built into the light for the BP batteries, and you can run this light straight like so from the BP batteries themselves, and two big BP batteries will provide you with about 2 to 2.5 hours of full blast, which is great. Now let's compare the size and weight. The Sokani X60 is a bit narrower and smaller, but it is heavier. So the X60 comes at 1200 grams, a little bit more than 1200, almost 1300 grams, and the X100, no matter it's bigger, 1 kilogram straight. And now let's have a listen of a fan noise. Spoiler alert, it's not loud at all. No problems here. So now let's walk through the operation modes. So the left knob will control your color temperature, of course, and if you press into it will allow you to adjust the green magenta tint, which is very convenient, and you can mix and match this light with your other COB lights to be perfectly in the same spot. And your right knob adjusts the brightness, and if you press in the right knob you can jump through modes. Here's the HSI mode, so you can pick your hue, then your saturation, and with the right knob the intensity of the color. And then we can switch to RGB CW, so you just pick the brightness of certain LED groups like red, green, blue, and so on, which is also a very nice and easy way to adjust the color. I like this mode a lot. And then if we press into the right knob once again, we can jump through the effects. Your right knob adjusts the brightness, and also your left knob goes through the effects. We have 10 built-in effects. They are kind of okay. We have 10 frequencies of each effect, but they are nothing too crazy. The quality of those effects are pretty basic to my eye. but it's cool that they are there. So let's move on, and here is the app you can download and use, and it's very straightforward and easy to navigate. So here we have the intensity, the color temperature, and also we have the green magenta tint. And if I'll show you this footage with me sitting and adjusting the green magenta tint, you can see that it's very easy and nice and convenient to use on set with this app. And looking at the camera's white balance, for instance. The HSI mode is very straightforward as well. You just pick the color you want, and it's very fast. The same mode as the RGB CW, but with your app, and also the effects. So here we have the 10 effects: lightning, police, fire truck, ambulance, fire, fireworks, faulty bulb, TV, and my favorite one is the RGB cycle. This is the one I use the most, and it's okay, it's not too steppy in my opinion, let me say passable. So here are a couple of effects, as you can see. I know it's looking pretty creepy in my opinion, and here is the fire effect, and it doesn't look like fire at all, more of like a warm TV. And finally guys, the price for both lights is about $200. You can find them cheaper on sale, like on Black Friday, but I guess this is the right price for such a light. I really enjoy using those two lights, especially the Sokani X60. It's a beautiful and very versatile light for your backgrounds, for your colorful accents, and all in all, a versatile light to use even with the softbox during the talking headshot, and just enjoy to use in terms of build quality especially. So I highly recommend this light guys, and if you didn't use such light before, just go ahead and try it out, you'll enjoy it. And do you use such lights? Please let me know down in the comment section below. If you did enjoy this video, please smash the like and subscribe buttons, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care, bye.